So until I look into better ways of doing these videos, I'm gonna be reviewing other people's videos. We finna get into it though.
Okay, so a lot of people ask me, how do you pray the way you do? And the answer is knowing the Word of God. Trials usually take months, if not years, to happen. Diddy is due back. Diddy basically begged a judge.
Disclaimer for YouTube and anybody who's watching right now, this video does mention sensitive topics. It is for educational purposes, and everything in this video is alleged until the case is over.
To let him out of jail because he said that the jail conditions were horrific, but she said no. So here's what happened. A judge initially denied him any bail. He and his legal team came up with this bail package that he proposed to the judge, basically saying, look, I'll put up $50 million in bail. I'll use my $48 million Miami mansion as...
Did she just say 50 million? A $50 million house? All right, I'm sorry. I just shocked. 50 million on bail?
And as collateral, my mom and family members will co-sign on this deal. And he also proposed limiting female visitors, not traveling, and home detention. So the court sets up another hearing to hear the arguments. And after all is said and done, the judge still said no because she is afraid that Diddy will tamper with witnesses while he's out on home detention. Meaning he's going to stay right here in this Brooklyn detention center while he awaits trial. And as we all know, trials usually take months, if not years, to happen. Diddy is due back in court on September 25th, and throughout this process, you will likely not see any videos of him in court because cameras are not allowed inside of federal court, so you're just going to see sketches like this. By the way, if he's convicted, he faces up to life in prison.
Somebody did not pay the Illuminati bill. The literal body language in each of the videos that he's made with people is giving, I could ruin your whole life.
My baby bro, we here. Tomorrow it's time. It's time. What you gonna do to that thing, man? Yeah, they better tune in. They better tune in. Let's go.
There are so many things about the Diddy case that disturb me to my core, but truly, one of the things that just...
First of all, not too much on Travis Scott. Travis Scott is most definitely elite at this point, but that's been Travis Scott. Like, Travis Scott was like around the beginners of the people in the, like, the my age generation that know about the industry shit. He willingly is doing industry shit. Like, so, like, Travis Scott, if you go back and look at his pictures, most of the pictures, he don't even look at the camera. Like, it's a, like, bro. So, that video really didn't say much. Like, he was, that looked like them showing each other love, if you ask me. But, you know, sometimes, I gotta say it because people be stretching sometimes. I'm not saying she's stretching. I'm saying the people in the video, the TikTok video, y'all reaching, like, not stretching. Because this is stretching. I'm just saying.
I cannot shake is the fact that throughout Cassie's virtually her entire career that she was with P. Diddy, you can go through Getty Images, you can go through old photos, paparazzi photos. And the majority of these photos, Cassie has on her body, on her face that are clearly tried to be covered up with makeup, accessories, clothing, whatever. But the signs of her being a were always there. And now they're in 4K for everyone to see forevermore. And the cuts that were on her body when she would have to go out and make appearances with him. You can see in this paparazzi photo, you can see a very obvious on her arm. In this photo, if you just look a little closer, it's very obvious that she has a... Another example is this photo. You can see she has on the side of her face. There's a closer look. There's moments where she's like intentionally wearing her hat over one side of her face or her hair over one side of her face. And I wonder if she did that because she was hiding maybe a black eye or her... But you can follow Cassie through her career. That's documented well. And she has consistently had marks and bruises on her body from years of abuse from P. Diddy. And I know if I went through a bunch of old photos of Kim Porter, I would probably find the same thing.
Firstly, I want to say welcome forward to another video. I actually was not going to cover another Diddy video, but I did want to talk about the resemblance it has within the collective consciousness, within the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. I want to talk about how this all ties into the energetic shifts that are taking place right now. The dynamic between Diddy and Cassie's relationship really talks about the balance and the imbalance between the masculine and the feminine energies. In the last videos, we covered the documents that Cassie had put out about her experience with Diddy. This also correlates with the history of women as well. If y'all don't know, I'm just going to give you a little bit of what happened inside of her case file.
Cassie is suing Diddy for $30 million, accusing him of repeated physical and trafficking. The pair met back in 2005 when Cassie was 19 and the rapper was 36. This began a decade-long on and off relationship. The lawsuit alleges that throughout the span of their relationship, Cassie was and controlled, that Diddy used to ply her with repeatedly her to a savage degree and to have with male as he watched and recorded. The lawsuit also claims that just before the end of their relationship in 2018 that Combs forced his way into her home. And Cassie describes the trafficking as horrific encounters and often used to disassociate from what was happening. There was one session in 2016 where Diddy was drunk and her in the face, causing a black. As he fell asleep, she tried to leave the hotel room.
Another thing, I heard that they finna start making drugs like cocaine and certain drugs like legal on a medical basis, on a medical stand. So like with the government knowing that they finna pass that law, or have already passed the law, the fact that she's saying that she was doing drugs to disassociate, it's like it's all a part of the agenda, bro. Like, it's like, what? Like, she took drugs because her ass was an addict. I'm sorry.
And he woke up, followed into the hallway and began throwing glass vases at her. Now, she claims there was video footage from the hotel video cameras that were there. And
I'm just joking. Like, I'm spiritually joking. I know that she did the drugs to disassociate, but it's like, y'all talking about it like it's like still okay. It's still not okay. She kept dealing with the lifestyle, bro. Like, let's go.
When she tried to retrieve it, he just paid $50,000 to make it go away. There was an incident in 2009 where Diddy saw Cassie speaking to another agent, and he then proceeded to push her into the car, kick her in the face until she was. During one of their off periods in 2012, Cassie began dating Kid Cudi. This apparently enraged Diddy. He threatened to blow up Kid Cudi's car, and shortly after that threat was made, Cudi's car blew up in his driveway. Besides fearing for her safety or a violent outburst, there were multiple threats made from Diddy that he would suppress her music if she didn't obey his violent claims. He also had access to her medical records and paid for her a car and apartment.
Y'all know I'm a firm believer of as above, so below. So the dynamics that's been happening with the divine feminine and the masculine energy has been exactly how their relationship has been going. And this has been starting since the fall of consciousness, when matriarchal societies were no longer existing. Now, literally everything correlates into what masculine energies have done to the divine feminine. And in an effort to please or try to assist or make the divine feminine feel happy or change the distance between the connection, the divine feminine tries to adjust her energy to what will make the divine masculine happy. I did a video like a year ago talking about the dark history of women. I'm just going to give you a little refresher on the history. Again, his story.
I never believe women are safe in any religion because the majority of it is written by men and catered to a man's fantasy.
Here are the things that have bothered me throughout the entire world of what women have been through. Did you know there's a thing called a scold's brittle? Now, this is how they treated their women before, there was a torture device called the Ripper. A woman who was condemned as a witch, adulteress, or a blasphemer may have thy ripped off. The amounts of gruesome contraptions that medieval people created. The thumb screw, the breaking wheel. The torturer takes hammer and proceeds to different parts of the limbs while the wheel is spinning. Okay, let's just continue. Female prisoners who are virgins must be assaulted before execution to prevent them from entering heaven. Now, I had to look this up because this couldn't be real. Organized assault of virgin girls awaiting execution. 223 women. 15% were under 18 years old. It gets worse. Now, I didn't even know this was happening around the world, but there's this thing called FGM. Just look it up, okay? I don't even know if I can explain it on here. It is carried out between infancy and the age 15 of women.
If Fatima does not pass through this rite, she will be considered unclean and face rejection in her village. She will not be able to get married, and when she dies, she will not be allowed to be buried with her ancestors. Her close relatives will not even be allowed to mourn her upon her passing.
Bitch, what?